Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we are glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 25th of June, 2020, and this is episode 402. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. I'm trying to start a new color on my knitting. So let's talk about Ravelry right quick.
Okay.
So Ravelry has come out with a new look, a new color scheme, new layout, etc., 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 which is all well and good other than the fact that it is triggering migraines, nausea, and seizures in some people. I'm one of the ones that had migraine and nausea from it. From what I have been able to figure out, it was not tested with people with accessibility issues before it was rolled out. There is the option to switch back to the classic look, but you have to get through the animations on the login page, and then it logs you into the new look before you can then change it to the classic look. Mm-hmm. Which is an issue, because if you are being triggered to have a seizure, you could have a seizure trying to get it back to the classic look. So what we're asking Ravelry to do is to roll back the new look completely to the classic look, go back to the drawing board, make some changes, test it with people with accessibility issues and disabilities before they roll back out a new look. Mm-hmm. There is a survey once you log into Ravelry. There's a survey at the top of the homepage that you can complete, and you can be able to say if you are having issues or someone you know is having issues, in the hopes that Ravelry will make some changes. Ravelry has always been a really amazing site and resource for us, and it makes me angry that they didn't take into account people with disabilities. And Ravelry has always been a very strong supporter of LGBTQ folks, and just, I think it's been just right around a year ago when they came out with their stand against, how do I word it?
Trump propaganda.
Yeah, there we go. And the like. And so we have always been strong supporters of Ravelry, and right now I'm angry. And so we are kind of, Dammy and I both rolled back to the classic look, and both have done the survey. And we're kind of in a watch and wait mode right now to see what the powers that be at Ravelry choose to do and decide to do, and hope that they make this right. There are some people who the site triggered seizures who are now losing their driver's license, because in certain places you can't have a driver's license if you've had a seizure in the last, I think it's like 6 to 12 months. And that pisses me off, that if they had just taken the time to make sure that the site was accessible to everyone, that this wouldn't have happened. So, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No.
Okay. So we are in kind of in a watch and wait mode right now, and we will see we will see what happens. So if you are on Ravelry, if you could go and fill out that survey, it would be beneficial to a lot of people. To the more that we can make our voices heard, I think will make the powers that be at Ravelry realize that this is a problem. So, okay. Well, we have a lot of stuff to talk to you about today, including announcing our 400th podcast episode prize winners. So we probably should go ahead and get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on her needles.
So I just have one thing on the needles right now, which means I have a lot of FOs to show you in a minute. I am working on birthday slippers for my nephew Wyatt, who will be turning 9 in December.
Okay.
This is the Bed Peds pattern by Yvonne Mendelsohn. I have just converted it to be toe up. I'm using US 7's 4.5 mil needles, and I'm using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Everglade Heather, Semolina, and Orange colorways. The stitch marker is from Tilting Planet. It's got little stars in it. And I'm using this Kitty Project bag from Lizzie Bags. So, I've just done, well, you can see I'm on the 5th color change. So I am just getting this started and going. I like to try, if you're new here, you may not know this, you might be like, Cece, why are you knitting something that's a birthday present for December? Because I like to try to finish, I started doing this when we were living in Scotland. I like to try to finish birthday presents for my niece and 2 nephews all so that I can ship them all off at the same time. And when we were living in Scotland, it was to save postage because it was expensive to ship things back and forth. Now it's just, I've just started
To save postage.
To save postage, but I've just kind of gotten the habit of during Stash Dash every year, I knit their birthday presents. So Lola's are done. I'm about to show you those in just a minute. These are Wyatt's, and then I'll knit Waylon's. Wyatt and Waylon's birthdays are both in December, 11 days apart. Wyatt's,
Miss babies.
I know. Wyatt's birthday's the 15th. My sister Carrie's is the 20th. Waylon's is the 26th. All the birthdays. So, although, I mean, like, you and I were 9 days apart, so, anyway.
You're welcome.
So, that is the only thing I have on the needles right now. And I'll tell you why in the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Yes, I have 3 of them today. So, first up, just as I just mentioned, are birthday slippers for my niece Lola, who will be turning 12. Again, this is the Bed Peds pattern by Yvonne Mendelsohn. I just converted it to toe up. I did these on US 7's 4.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Pea Pod, Creme Brulee, Conch, and then as we talked about in last week's episode, I had to do orange for the cuff because I ran out of the conch. I had to unknit the conch cuff on one to be able to use it as the second conch stripe. But anyway, it's fine. It's all good. The colors all blend together well. You can see that I'm kind of similar color families. And when I knit Waylon's, let's see here. Where is... Waylon's will have the orange and these 2 colors. So we're kind of all in the same color family for these. But that's just how it turned out.
They are gonna get them confused. Maybe.
Well, what I did for Wyatt's is I started with the orange color. And Waylon...
These aren't mine. My toes are orange.
Well, and then for Waylon, I think I will probably start with the more, it's the kind of tealy green versus, so they'll be able to tell because of the greeny blue colors are all different as well. significantly different versus like these two, the two yellows are not that different. So, yeah. So that's Lola's slippers. The next thing I finished was birthday socks for my bestie's oldest son, Noah. These are my French vanilla cappuccino pattern that you can get on Ravelry. I just didn't put a heel in because he's a growing boy, so that way he'll be able to wear them longer. I used US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and you can go to my project page that's linked in the show notes to see all the colorways because there's 9 of them. So they aren't exactly matchy-matchy because some of the colorways are self-striping. So you can see these are from the same one, but it makes it different on them. So, and then of course that right there as well. That right there. Again, that there and that there. So, but they're done. And hopefully he will like them. It was Izzy that coined CC socks. Noah's younger brother coined the term CC socks because all 4 of them get socks for their birthdays. And then this is my 25th preemie hat for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on Ravelry. Did this on US 6's 4mm needles, and I'm using a lot of Knit Picks. Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in the Peapod and Creme Brulee colorways. So I was using up I didn't use all, but I used up some of the leftovers from Lola's slippers. So with those 3 finishes, I've already reached my Stash Dash goal. My goal for Stash Dash, which is a challenge by the Knit Girls podcast, and it's a challenge, you're challenging yourself, and you choose your goal, and then when you finish a project during Stash Dash, you get to count the entire meterage of the project, not just what you worked on during Stash Dash. So, I am currently sitting at, my goal was 1,500 meters. I'm currently sitting at 1,531.5 meters.
Ooh.
But I still have Wyatt and Waylon slippers. I have preemie hats every week. And then the reason I haven't started on another pair of socks is because I was like, okay, I'm going to get Wyatt and Waylon slippers out of the way. And, well, I may not completely finish them. But I want to take socks with me to Grazing Hills. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be knitting a pair of socks for a friend and her daughter as a surprise. She's not a knitter, but she's always had such kind comments about my knitting. And I did knit stuff for her daughter when she was born. Some baby stuff. Oh, that's right, you did too. I forgot. But I have a sock blank. That's pink, which is her favorite color, which is wonderful because I was able to pull right from my stash. So I am going to take those. I'll do mom's first, and then I'll do the daughters. I'm going to take that with me to Grazing Hills to knit on while we're in our booth, which I'll talk more about in Yummies. So, yeah. So I've already reached my Stash Dash goal. I'm wondering if I probably will hit 2,000 meters if I finish both these pairs of slippers, all the preemie hats, and even if I only finish the mom's socks, I probably will hit 2,000 meters. So I didn't math very well, but that's fine. Okay, well that is everything I think for FOs, so let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. Dammy, what you stitching?
So I am still stitching on this rose bookmark, as you can see. So many roses. I just now finished the border. I don't know who this is by. It was in a magazine ad. This is what it'll look like. I changed the colors to be all shades of red, except for the green. That's still green. So yeah, I've got the border done. My flosses are all in this bag from Fat Cat Creates. My needle minder, oh, it's right side up this time, is from So Happy Mail Bristol on Etsy, and my snippety is from Caddy Cross Stitches.
Yes.
And
Dadgummit.
What'd you do?
I did 2 knit stitches in a row, so I just earlier on the needle, I just have to tink back.
Okay.
You'll have started classes, summer classes, before we podcast again.
Okay.
So we'll see how much stitching time you have with classes starting. So maybe you can get a good portion done before classes start. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. What in the world happened here? Oh, it's because it's woven in. Okay. Oh my word, I'm having issues, you guys.
What are you stitching?
What am I stitching? Well, hold on, let me grab this loose stitch and then I will show you what I'm cross stitching. Okay, first up, I did another section. This is in my project bag from the 805 Stitcher. And I am I'm also using a snippety, like Dammy showed. Petty cross stitches. Okay, so I am working on my Christmas list, which is a pattern by Silver Creek Sampler. Okay, I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to show y'all something on it after I show you what I did this week. So this week I did the clock and time for bed. Let me hold it closer so you can see. So there's the clock and time for bed. This is on a 28 count even weave. I think I got it at Joann's. And I'm using the called for DMCs.
Feels nice.
Okay, so, all right.
Pink's hair, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Okay. So I'm dropping everything here. Okay. I did time for bed, but I didn't stitch the bed because what my plan is, so I'm going to break this down into 4 more segments. So the next time I work on it, I'm going to do angel singing and the angel. And then the next time I'm going to do the bed and Christ is born. And then the next time I'm going to do a gift for all with the star. And then, a gift for all on and the star. And then the last time I'm going to do Christmas morn and baby Jesus.
Baby.
So I'm breaking it down into 4 more segments. That, and that. And that way I'm doing words and an image each time I work on it. So that is my plan to finish that, and I'm still on track to finish this before Stash Dash ends because I set myself some, even though it's not official, cross stitch is not an official part of Stash Dash. I set myself some cross stitch goals for Stash Dash. Okay, so there was that. Next up in my little pouch from Pearl Girl buttons, and all of these things are linked in the show notes. Where are the show notes?
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
There you go. Okay, I am working on the final pattern from the Pusheen cross stitch kit, and it looks like this. I'm doing it on the 14 count Aida that came with the kit in the 4 colors that came with the kit, and I work on this during my Stitch with Me's that I do on Mondays. So all I have left is I'm just filling in this tan. So I'm hoping maybe that another couple Stitch with Me's, maybe 3 Stitch with Me's will finish this. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to stitch during Stitch with Me's. So there was that. And then the other, well, before we get to my full coverage piece, the last thing I'm working on is in my To Better to Sleep Outlander project bag from Stitch Toolbox. Also using a snippety from Caddy Cross Stitches. And this is Hildy's Strawberry Patch by Michelle Garrett Bendy Stitchy Designs. But I am doing it flat. I'm not going to finish it into the strawberry. And as you'll see, I added flowers and vines and more bees down here at the bottom to make it have a little more rectangular shape. And I'm using the called for DMCs other than one color I did not have. And I am on, I'm using Fortnite fabric. My bag is falling here. Fortnite fabric from, this was a fabric of the month from January in the mushroom collection. It's the Alba White Truffle, and it's a 28 count even weave. And this is where I'm at. So, Hildy's completely done. I've done the flowers and vines and strawberries and bees on this side. I did Eek and Squeak last night. So I just need to do on this side the 2 vines with flowers with strawberries, and there's 2 bees, and I need to do Brian the bat.
Brian.
Because the bats are named Eek, Squeak, and Brian. So there is that. So I think I should have this finished by the time we record next week. Because it's not a week that I work on my Christmas list. Because I am alternating those. And I need to get this finished because for Semi-Sane Stitchers, I need to at least start on one of your birthday cat mandalas. So,
Cat.
Huh?
Cat.
Cat mandalas.
I know, I was just saying cat.
Oh, okay. If I'm not done with Hildy Strawberry Patch before the end of the month, I will stop and at least start one of the cat mandalas. Because I've got all the floss now and I have the fabric. So I just need to get started on that. Because that was for one of the things for Semi-Sane Stitchers.
Nothing making a vine now.
Good. So my goal for Stash Dash for cross stitch for projects other than my full coverage piece, I modified it because I way overshot what I thought I was going to do. So I bumped it down to 13,000 stitches. I still think that might be a little high. I may need to bump it down a little more. But thus far I have done 4,416.
Wow.
I should count how many stitches there are left in my Christmas list because that'll give me a good estimate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Golly gee, I wonder how you count all those stitches on that paper of yours. It makes my eyes hurt, and I just got new glasses.
I can't show because it's the pattern. I was about to pull it out and show you. So for stuff that is not my full coverage, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, I literally make a working copy of the pattern, and I highlight and count as I highlight.
Golly gee, that's an ingenious idea.
It is. It is. Okay. My full coverage piece is in my Winnie the Pooh bag from Knit Run Dig. I'm using the Pattern Keeper software on a Kindle Fire 7. You'll see all this in a minute. I'm using a needle minder from Top Knot Stitcher, Grime Guard from Crab Shack Stitchery, Snippety from Caddy Cross Stitches, and the fabric is a 25 count Easy Grid something. I don't know.
Okay.
Something. Okay. So this is my full
Oh,
coverage
no, I don't like
piece. Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. Even though it says something different on there, they rebranded and just didn't do it on the pattern. Last week when I showed you this, I was at 12,800 stitches. Which you are seeing on the screen right now.
On Earth?
Why are you making faces?
Because this much tore off of my floss.
Yeah, I had that happen last night. Just snip
Hello?
to make it the same length. Sometimes there's a little flub,
Weak strand.
a weak spot in the floss, and it happens. So okay, and here is where I am now, and this is 14,200 stitches out of 265,824 stitches complete. There's more that you're not seeing because it's off. It's tucked under here. Oh yeah, here we go. 25 count easy count grid Lagana. It's a 25 count Lagana. Okay, so with that number of stitches, I am now 5.342% complete with this project.
Cool.
I didn't know if you were making a face behind it.
Ah.
I have completed 2 out of 60 pages, but I'm almost done with the 3rd page. And for Stash Dash, my goal is to complete 18,000 stitches. And I have completed 6,800 so far. So I am on track for completing it. So I think I'm going to be able to I'll finish this column and do 2 more columns before I have to move the fabric again.
Cool.
Just because, here's why. Do you see back here how this is all this excess fabric? Because this thing is massive. So that's why all that excess fabric is tucked back there. And then like I was saying earlier, I'm still participating in the Semi-Sane Stitchers challenge group on Facebook. I did finish the Around the World 5,000 stitch challenge for this month already.
Nice.
And
let's try that again.
I am getting close to being done with another book for the Mapping Your Literary Challenge. And then I'm working on the background certificates as well. So I'm just plugging away and making it happen and all of that. Okay, well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. We do have something stitching related and yummy, so you should stay tuned, as well as if you entered into the 400 episode giveaway, there was a... Giveaways. There's 5 of them. There was a cross-stitch prize. So if you entered, you should make sure and stay tuned to see if you are one of our winners.
You better.
And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are yummies, Sammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So I got in the post this week from a company called Zox. I bought they do like bracelets and they have rings and I think they have like keychains. I'm not sure what all they have, but I ordered from their Pride collection. This is the Love Wins one, and it comes with this really cool, it's like a gift card material. So that's the front of it. And then it has like a little quote on the back. In all my years on this earth, one thing is held true more than any other. Love always wins. And so it's a double-sided bracelet. So on one side is the Pride flag, and they've got their little logo. And then you flip it, and it again is the colors of the Pride flag, and it says Love Wins. And I believe it was $1 from the purchase of the bracelet goes to the Trevor Project. And they had really fast shipping. I was very, very impressed. This is my first time to order from them. But they also have, and I've linked it in the show notes, because they also have another Pride bracelet that's called Just Love. And it's got hearts in the colors on one side, and then Just Love with like the Pride flag colors in it. And then they also have a ring. So, yeah, but they have, oh, wow, and I didn't even know about that. Every order provides a year of clean water to someone in need. But they have all kinds of really, really cool bracelets. They have, right now they have some like first responders ones, but they also have like, there's one that I might want to order that is, it was Van Gogh, it was Starry Night. So they've got lots of cool ones, so you should definitely check that out. And I just love this. I pulled it so we could show it on the podcast, but I had this sitting in my windowsill by my desk, so I thought it was really, really cool. Dammy, you have something
Yes.
to show us that you got in the post this week.
Finish the stitch. So I had gotten a second embroidery kit from Etsy, and I must say I'm more impressed with this one. So this is from Deaconeer on Etsy. They also have their own website, the Zen Stitch. So it came with this hoop. It's actually a plastic hoop, and I like it.
Cool.
And the fabric with the water-soluble dye printed onto it. For the pattern, it came with the pattern too, but I'm not showing you because it's the pattern. It'll look like this.
Yeah.
And it came with the floss too. So, and I have to say I'm more impressed with this one than the other one I got.
They sent you the wrong thing.
Yes, they sent me a simplified version of the pattern I thought I was going to get. So I have a simplified version of the pattern screen printed onto the fabric, but all of the colors for the normal version, which I thought I was going to get.
Which is a
Yeah, so now I have to figure out what to do with that. So it's sitting in my bag of cross stitch in timeout.
I'm opening something, that's why I'm clicking on the computer over here.
Yep. So
maybe you'll
I think I might do this one next after I do.
I was about to say that
stitch.
once you finish your bookmark.
Yeah.
Do that.
And it's bigger too, and I like the colors on it more than the other one. It's pretty. It's pretty.
It is pretty.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Well, I think that is. I don't think there's anything else.
No.
Is there? So let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Yes, and we released the July prompts list this week, and it has a little bit of like the fireworksy 4th of July celebration type stuff, but only a little bit. Most of it is just more of our normal type stuff like whip and you know what I'm doing now and times and
goodness gracious.
And the baby is moving around, the pinky kitty baby. Times and colors and things like that. So that is going to be shown on your screen here in a minute, but it's also on our website,
geekygirlsknit.com.
Yes, I wasn't even pushing for that, but yes. As well as it'll be on social media in the days ahead. So, but Dammy, we are about to show them something.
Yes, 2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked. Goodness gracious.
Pinky baby does not like this heat. Here come the photos. So those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Do you know the prompt? Easy, because our June prompts list was inspired by summertime and the living is easy. Because our owl started this month for summertime. You interpret the prompt however you wish. We're very cheater friendly on that. Post it. Take your photo, post it on Instagram. Make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad because that's how we find your photo. If you are participating in GGK Crafty Pad and you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles is following you because otherwise we can't see your photos. So send her a message. She'll follow you. They'll follow you, and yeah, yours might get chosen and shown. Okay. Upcoming events, I will be attending the Grazing Hills Fiber Fest.
I thought I heard something.
There's children outside.
No, from this side of the room.
Oh,
It sounded like your table was creaking menacingly.
Oh, no, I think I clicked the needles together.
Not menacing enough.
Okay. I'm going to be attending the Grazing Hills Fiber Fest in Viola, Idaho, Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of July. The link to their website is in the show notes. I'll be teaching a continental knitting class on Saturday from 10 to noon. There is still spots left in that class, last I checked. I need to practice my teaching on you before your classes start.
Yeah, I've had this sitting here for you to teach me.
Maybe we can do that tomorrow
Okay.
or Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. And that is everything for the moment. So I will be masked up while I'm gone, and I will be, other than for my teaching my class, I will primarily be in the Soundview Fiber Mill booth, which is my employer. But I will have Dammy and my 3 pattern books for sale in the booth, and they do have, you'll get the physical copy, but they have the ebook download code in them, and Dammy and I have already autographed them. Since Dammy wasn't going to be at the show, and since I might be out of the booth, we went ahead and autographed them ahead of time. So if you would like to get a copy of 1 or 2 or all of the books, come on by the Soundview Fiber Mill booth at Grazing Hills Fiberfest. There we go. All right, I think we are now ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
So right now I'm only reading So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijeoma Oluo. It is a really good book. I'm only a few chapters in, but I would highly suggest that anyone wanting to get started on anti-racist reading start with this instead of White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo, who is a white woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I've read it. It's very, very good. I've read both of them, actually. But
and I'm also reading The Glass Scientist, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katinga.
well, I am fairly certain you are getting 15 minutes a day in.
Yep.
What am I referring to?
The April, May, June row.
Read along. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. The seasonal April, May, June one will be ending before we record again. Is that correct? Hold on, I'm looking at a calendar. Yes, we record again on the 2nd. So make sure that I will lock the April, May, June finish line the morning of July 1st. So make sure you've gotten all of your days and times posted by June 30th. Is there 30 days in June? Sure. That's what we're going to say. And we will announce winners of pattern and ebook next week when we record. July 1st, we'll start the July, August, September round of the seasonal RAL. There will be a finish line thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then edit your post. And participating in the seasonal RALs gets you entries into the year-long challenge. At the beginning of 2021, we will announce 3 grand prize winners from all those entries. All the details are in the show notes, as well as on our in the show notes on our website, as well as in the Ravelry group. There are ways to earn bonus entries, and I was just going to say while I was saying that. So one of the ways to get bonus entries is to complete the Modern Mrs. Darcy 2020 Reading Challenge, which is 12. You'll get 12 bonus entries if you complete it. And I finished another book for mine because I'm participating in it as well. So the only 2 things I have left are, and I think I'm going to change out because there was one of the prompts was to reread a book, and I had put Harry Potter, but because of Switch and Flick breaking up the chapters, I don't know if we're going to be done with this current book by the end of the year. And I have reread the books from the Lady Astronaut series because the 3rd one will be coming out soon. I need to check and see what that is. So I think I'm going to sub one of those in there, and then the only prompt I'll have left is to read a book in translation. So I need to look and find something for that prompt. So, speaking of Harry Potter, I am continuing to reread book 5 of the series, The Order of the Phoenix, along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. And this week's chapter, which is broken up between this week and next week for Swish and Flick, is Educational Decree, not degree. Decree number 24. So this is when Umbridge posts the notice that no teams, clubs, groups, etc. can meet because she's gotten rumblings about the what will become Dumbledore's army that are organizing. So that's what this chapter is all about. So I've already listened to Sacred Text episode for this one, and I've listened to the first of two Swish and Flick, and then the new Swish and Flick usually comes out on Sunday. Mm-hmm. So I finished reading The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. Really, really good book. I talked about it more in depth last week about it's about a girl who discovers doors that open to different places. So it was very, very good. I finished reading book number 9 in the Detective D.D. Warren series by Lisa Gardner. This is about a female police detective. I read The Nanny by Gilly McMillan. This was a little creepy. In the first little bit of the book, there's this, this is set in the UK, there's this wealthy family, they own a big house, whatever, there's a lake, whatever. Well, the now adult daughter comes back home, and she and her young daughter find a skull in the lake, a human skull.
Radical.
And so there's this murder mystery throughout it, is what this book is about. But there was some really creepy things in it. So,
cool.
I finished reading just last night Tuesday, Mooney Talks to Ghosts by Kate, I think it's Raculia, right there.
Sure.
So Tuesday Mooney, that's a woman's name. Tuesday is her name. And it's set present day, and this elderly, wealthy gentleman passes away, and he has set up this like treasure hunt
Forrest
to be able to be one of his heirs. And so it's like the whole book is Tuesday and other people in her life trying to solve the treasure hunt. It did not end the way I thought it would end. I was surprised by the ending in a good way. So I just finished that last night. It was so good. And then I started After the End by Claire McIntosh. And this one, trigger warning, if you have difficulty reading about children being ill and children dying from illnesses, this is not a book for you, because that's what the book is about. I haven't obviously finished it. I just started it last night. But right now we are with this husband and wife, and their 3-year-old son is in the pediatric intensive care unit, and very ill. So, and it also takes place in the UK. So, I can tell that I'm going to be crying before the book is over. So, okay, watching. I am almost done watching Whitechapel. I have 1 episode left. In fact, I might watch that after I get the podcast edited and everything, because it is the show is over. It ended like 2013 or something. So I have 1 episode left. The final season got super, super dark. I mean, it was already dark because it was like the first season, some of the first episodes, or actually I think the whole first series was about copycat Jack the Ripper murders. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's already this darkness, but it got really dark this last series. So, I'm finishing it up. I will definitely be done with it before we record again. So, do you want to talk about the next thing?
Oh, sure. We finished rewatching season 10, and now we're on to season 11 of Frasier.
Which is the final season.
Yes. I may say, I thought the early days of Frasier were quite uncringe, but as they go into the 21st century, They just cringe more and more.
Yeah, there were one of the episodes we watched last night. There were some funny moments, but there were some that I was just like, oh, yeah, we didn't need to do that. We did not need to do that.
And I feel like some of the writing stuff changed.
Well,
Between like 8, 9, 10, and 11.
well, because remember that one of the main guys, he and his wife died in 9/11. So he was not around anymore, and he was one of the key people. So things definitely did change, but yeah. I finished another color stripe on Wyatt's slippers. So, yeah. So I feel like probably we will be done rewatching by the time we record next week. Because I think we have around 20-ish episodes to go. So I feel like that probably will be the case.
Things are a product of their time, sure, but 2003 was also not that long ago.
That's right. That is very true. I don't know what row I am on. I need to count again, but I will do that in a few minutes. We are rewatching season 2 of Psych, which is super funny. Love it so much. It's a
USA, we know people.
yes, it's a.
You don't have to say it's a comedy suspense every week.
But it cracks me up that that's how Amazon brands it, is a comedy suspense. It's a guy who's psychic, but not really. But he helps solve cases for the police department. So
We are also watching Cabin Fever. He just did 22 out of the 26 he said he's going to do. This is an extended web series, I guess, by John Finnemore, extended from his BBC Radio 4 comedy Cabin Pressure,
yes.
which ended 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Well, 6 years at Christmas. Ended 5.5 years ago.
Wow. Yes, did you know today is exactly 6 months till Christmas? Somebody posted that today.
Merry Christmas.
Apparently it's called Leon Day, which is Noel backwards.
Who's Leon?
So, yes. And Douglas messed up on the
Douglas Festival.
on the puzzles from Cabin Fever. I am watching the final season 7 of The 100, which is a young adult sci-fi fantasy. It's obvious. It's yeah.
Okay.
You talk about the next thing.
We're watching the final season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't remember. Oh, they brought Sousa with them into the 70s!
Yes.
They can't do that!
They faked his death.
They can't do that! Okay.
Was last week's episode the one where it was in black and white?
Yes. Okay.
It was like the film noir.
Noir?
Is that how you say it? Noir?
Film noir.
Noir?
You studied French in high school. I know you learned colors.
Do you know how many years ago that was?
Tell me why you still remember the French alphabet then. Do not say.
I don't know.
Say.
That's the only thing I remember is the French alphabet and how to count to 10.
What else are you watching?
Yeah.
Stop.
I am watching the final season 5 of Blind Spot, and season 6 of Good Witch. Listening to my favorite murder podcast. One of the ones they talked about today was about, it was a disaster where it was like back in the early 1900s where a dam broke and like lots and lots and lots of people were killed. Because a self-taught engineer came up with the plans.
Have they talked about the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire?
Maybe.
Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire.
There's a lot of episodes that I've listened to. The other case was a survivor story of a teenage girl who was kidnapped. And she was very brave and very enterprising and was able to save herself. So, I'm also listening to the Unlocking Us with Brene Brown podcast. Highly recommend. I had to go out to the mill this week where I work. it's about an hour drive away. I work from home, so when we're not in the pandemic, I only go to the mill usually about once a month. But I needed to go out there because we needed to make plans for Grazing Hills. And so I had an hour drive there and an hour drive back. And in Brené's podcast, there was a 2-part episodes where it was about apologizing with Harriet Lerner. And it was so good. It was 2+ hours of content, and it was so good. Highly recommend. Also listening to random Spotify playlists. My CC Saves playlist is linked in the show notes.
Listening to Cabin Pressure, as always, and my Songs of Resilience playlist is also linked in the show notes.
That's right. All right, I think that is everything that we are reading, watching, and listening to. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our June, July, August.
Summertime and the living is easy.
Ow. So this along is for anything that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to summer. It runs from the 1st of June to the 31st of August. And I said those backwards. That's fine. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun no earlier than the 1st of June and then finished no later than the 31st of August. And then each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If it's not at least 20 yards, you group it together in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. For stitching...
I saw somebody did that this week. I was like, way to go. Kudos. Good job.
For stitching and sewing projects, we leave it up to your best judgment if it's big enough. Okay. I lost my train of thought. You can feel free to polydip in other longs as long as it fits in with other rules. That's totally fine. We have lots of wonderful prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors and sponsors. If you would like to donate a prize for this or a future owl, you can PM Java Pearl. You can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry or email us at geekygirlsnet@gmail.com. If you'd like to get closer looks at these prices, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsnet.com, or tune into the First-ish podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail.
There are still, I believe, 2 prizes outstanding from the Spring Owl, so if you participated, you should go back and watch that episode because you're about to run out of time to claim your prize.
Take your prizes.
And then if you run out of time, they go back in the prize box.
Yes, they are.
It is.
Okay. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. Too many words.
Sorry.
Along with this hashtag, which is too many letters. It's GGKCS, Summertime 20. The FO thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of September, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that, and any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it, like the ones from the Spring Owl. There's also a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can talk about the progress of your project and where I congratulate people who do finish projects, but I also do that here. So, A. Bingham, Angie's Hip, D-Door 4, DG White, Elsa and M, I Now Hour, Falling Star 12, I Knit Socks 2, Jodidiah, Carleen Page, Knit Fantasy, Elma Call, Wool Mermaid, Strauss, and Stitch by Moonlight.
Great job, everybody. Keep working on those projects. You have a little over 2 months to get them finished and posted, and you might be a winner. So, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Do you want me to ask this question, or do you want to?
You can ask it.
Okay, this was actually a question posted on YouTube, which is totally fine. If you are not part on Ravelry, you can post your questions in the YouTube comments, and then we will move them over to our Ravelry thread and answer them as quickly as we can. So this question actually came from Shireen, who is my boss out at Soundview Fiber Mill. She also is who donated 2 of the 5 giveaways for our 400th podcast episode giveaways. She says, now that we are quarantined, how has Pink Pearl's life changed? What is her daily routine?
Well, her daily routine is what she is doing right now in my lap. Laying down. Okay, let's get you up.
Okay,
Pink.
What has changed is...
Nothing.
No, what has changed is people are home all the time. And why are you humans in my house all the time? Go away.
She was fine during the spring, but now she is not a big fan of the changed and hotter weather. So if you have any tips on shaving your cat, let me know.
We're not shaving the cat.
Let me know.
You're not shaving the cat. Her daily routine is to demand to be fed, and if we are not up to feed her, we get woken up.
Well, sometimes. She
depends.
didn't wake me up a couple days last week to feed her.
Don't know.
You let me sleep in, and you just sat there on the ottoman when I said, why didn't you wake me up?
So she eats. She usually gets zoomies. Then she eats some more. And then she takes a nap. And then she demands more food. And then she takes another nap. And then if the closet door opens, she thinks that it's because we are getting one of her special treats out. Like her CATNIP quilt.
Blanket from Whisker City.
Yes, that we got at, that I got at, CMALCon. Yeah, the cat convention. She'll play some more, then she wants dinner, and then she usually sleeps some more, because she usually sleeps after she eats, because she has epilepsy, and so we put her medication in her breakfast and dinner, and
I got your slobber.
It makes her sleepy, and so she sleeps.
And then
stinks. She has to usually take the Dr. Hubs, who's wrapped around her little claw, to get finished eating her dinner before she can come night to bed with Mama and Bubba. And
she never goes night in my bed no more.
No, she goes night. Well, it's because you were gone to college and she got used to it.
But now I'm here. Please love me.
And she sleeps on our bed between the Dr. Hub's feet.
This is an earplane. Oh, but now I'm gonna show you an alien baby. This is something we do when we're bored. Alien baby. Earplane.
She sleeps a lot. That's what she does. And eats.
Well, that's what cats do.
Yes.
They're like babies. Only less complicated and sometimes more aggressive.
She really, really, really thinks she should be allowed into the outside world. She's not allowed. Although I did carry her out last night and onto the patio, and she sniffed and smelled. But she really wants to go get the birdies outside because they were singing to her last night, and she wanted to go get them.
Show everyone your beautiful belly.
I got a big belly. It's very fluffy.
No.
I think she's done, Dammy.
Okay. Anything else you do all day, Pinky?
No. I demand to be put down. That's what I do.
She's a big chungus. Okay, that's what she does.
So
goodbye. Ouch.
So thank you to Shireen for that question.
Oh, I gave her cooties. Another thing she does is whenever I pick her up, she immediately gives herself a bath after I put her down because I give her cooties.
Yes. At night when we're watching TV, we have a sectional couch, and she likes to come jump up on the back of the couch like this that's next to me because I sit with my legs out on the chaise, and so she likes to jump up and be sitting like right beside my arm. So, yeah. Yep. She's very funny. Oh, we didn't tell them that she usually brings a toy into our bedroom at night. And the other night, it was so funny. She
doesn't want you to play. She just wants you to know that you are available to play with her no matter what you're doing.
Yes. So she has this smaller wand with the string on it that we have tied one of the foil balls to. And she likes to drag that into the bedroom. That's usually what she drags into the bedroom. But she grabs it by the foil ball and drags it in. Well, the other night she did that, and we have like a braided rope is the string on it, and she got a piece of the rope got caught around her fang.
It was the ball.
Oh, was it the ball? I thought it was the rope. Yeah. Anyway, it got caught around her fang.
Maybe it needs a new ball.
And I kept trying to get her to come close enough to me so that I could get it off, and she wouldn't. And Dammy heard me. She was already in bed, and so she came and rescued Pink.
Yeah, she just had the ball in her mouth.
She was like, it would come out. It would come out.
Ow.
Okay, so that is Pink Pearl. We love her a lot. She's 4 years old, and she's an amazing baby who thinks that you gave her cooties. Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it, or post it in the YouTube comments.
And we will move it over. All right. Well, I think that is everything for this segment, so we got some winners to announce. Let's move on to the next segment.
And now we have some 400th episode giveaways.
Yay! So, Dammy, why don't you tell them what the rule is?
I'm sorry, I'm watching Pink lick her little beans. She only has one bean that's not entirely leathered because she was found on the streets. Anyway, the rule is that for any giveaway, winners will have 30 days from the day this podcast goes live to claim their prize, or they forfeit it.
And how do they claim their prize?
You pay them Java Pearl on Ravelry, or if you cannot go to Ravelry right now because of everything that's going on with it, with accessibility problems, you can email geekygirlsnet@gmail.com. Put something like, put prize or giveaway or something in the title so it doesn't get caught by spam, because Gmail's spam filters are funky.
And for all but the final prize, I'm going to need to know your mailing address, your full name and mailing address, so that prizes can be mailed to you. So first up, Dammy, we have the 2 giveaways from Soundview Fiber Mill. So the first giveaway was for 2 skeins of yarn of the winner's choice. And who was the winner for that?
Winner for this was Chirpy777, who loves the purple, red, black, and white, and the peach, gray, and cream skeins.
Yes, that was post number 20. Yes,
See it?
yes, we do, because we're showing that we.
Okay.
Siri is actually who chose the prize winners, because I just go, Siri, give me a random number between 2 and how many ever posts there were, because post number 1 was me. So Chirpy777, PM me your full name and mailing address. The other giveaway from Soundview Fiber Mill was for 2 bumps of roving, and the winner of that is
Number 12, Stitched by Moonlight, who liked the 2 blue and periwinkle bumps.
That'd be a real treat. Thank you again to Shireen at Soundview Fiber Mill for donating those prizes. Next up, we have from Knit Crate 2 skeins of 2-ply superwash undyed sock yarn, fingering weight 399 yards, 365 meters to 100 grams, and Kool-Aid to dye it with. And what we asked for this question was,
I was going to say it.
Oh, okay. So who is the winner?
The winner is number 36, Mystery Sower, whose favorite flavor of Kool-Aid is grape.
Mine too. So yes, I need your full name and mailing address as well. The cross-stitch giveaway that we had was for 2 floss holders and a cross-stitch planner, donated by Lori, who is Lavisa on Ravelry, and the winner of that, Dammy, is
Number 9, A. Bingham, whose favorite DMC color, favorite floss color is any shade of blue.
Yes. Okay, so those 4 winners, Chirpy777, Stitch by Moonlight, Mystery Sower, and A. Bingham, need your full name and mailing address so we can mail your prizes to you. The ones from Soundview Fiber Mill, Shireen will actually ship out. So, and then we'll ship out the Knit Crate and the cross stitch. Okay, so for this final one, this is from us, and the winner is going to receive all 10 of our ebooks on Ravelry. So, winner, when Dammy's going to announce the winner, and actually, why don't you announce the winner, and then I'll tell you what I need.
The winner is number 17, Newfie Mom 39, who would start knitting first from our patterns, the Sea and Sky Rip. I made that from Tickled Pink.
And then
French Vanilla Cappuccino Sauce.
Okay, so Newfie Mom 39, I just need to know that you've seen this, but I also need to know if you already own any of our ebooks, you can choose someone else for us to gift those specific ebooks to. So I need you to tell me that you've seen this, claim your prize, and then tell me if you have any of our ebooks, who you want me to gift those ones to. Tell me what those ebooks are and who you want me to gift them to, and then I'll gift the rest to you. So.
Want some pink hair?
No, that is not one of the prizes.
Although it comes for free in every package we send you. We cannot help it.
We do our best to keep the stuff away from pink, but stray hair. So again, thank you so much to our prize donors, Congratulations, prize winners, Chirpy777, Stitch by Moonlight, Mystery Sewer, A. Bingham, and Newfie Mom 39. And thank you to everyone who entered and celebrated our 400th podcast episode with us.
Yay.
Later this summer, we will be celebrating our 8th podiversary, and we will do some more big prizes giveaways for that.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned. All right, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. Well, with that, we have come to the end of our show. There was lots going on in this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. We don't have any announcements. Next week's episode will be as normal. And next week we'll let you know, because the following week there will be a change of when the episode comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... Sorry, lost my train of thought. We'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the podcast. We love you guys a lot. You're amazing. You're the reason that we do this. But we'd like to say a special thank you to everyone who supports the podcast financially. That the financial support goes to pay for prizes and shipping of prizes and technology and behind the scenes such that are needed to make this podcast happen. So if you would like to support the podcast financially, there are 3 ways you can do that. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creative, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. Dammy, if somebody would like to know more about that or would like to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/GeekyGirlsKnit.
What is another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first and click on the appropriate link in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, then do your shopping as normal, and we will earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at Geeky Girls Knit at geekygirlsknit.com. They get their links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Well, with that, a reminder to please go fill out the survey on the Ravelry homepage about the accessibility of the new look of the website. We appreciate you doing that for us and for others that are affected by the change. I will be back with you on Monday for a Stitch With Me episode. And then we'll be back with you again next Friday with the new full-length episode. So until then, we hope you have a great weekend ahead. Happy crafting, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
I wonder where the kitty could be. She's not in the floor. There's a kitty in the desk chair. Pinky. Pinky, are you sleeping? Hi. Are you sleeping in the chair? Did I wake you up? I love you. I love you.